Hi everyone, I am Bhikshumaya Jalakani, Assistant Professor of Physics from Government Degree College for Women, Nalgonda. In this video, I am going to explain lattice vibrations from solid state physics, which is the syllabus in semester 5 of final year. We see it now. Lattice vibrations. As long as the solid is above 0 Kelvin, the atoms or molecules in the solid vibrates about their mean position or equilibrium positions. Okay, and the motion of these atoms are assumed to be the motion of the masses which are connected to elastic springs. See, so it as shown here. Okay, we are seeing here. So here each atom of mass m is attached with the adjacent or neighboring atoms with the help of springs is shown in plane. So even we can imagine the similar thing in 3D also. So however, a mass is attached to a spring. When pull it aside and release it, it vibrates about its equilibrium position. So similarly, the atoms in 3D lattice also vibrates about their equilibrium positions. Okay, so that is to get the idea of that. So it is assumed just like this. Now the motion of if one atom, so one if let us see, if one atom is moved this side and correspondingly the atom attached to this also moves in the same direction, and which is backs uh, left side atom also moves in the same direction, and the motion of atom, so the motion of atom of any single atom is shared by all the atoms. So therefore, we say that the motion of atom is coupled. Okay, or the atoms are just like coupled oscillators. Lattice vibrates due to internal energy or due to the forced vibrations. So just like mechanical vibrations or electromagnetic waves. So whatever may be the source, so that is external. We treat it as external. So it is the internal energy due to the thermal energy of the solid or substance. So if it is above 0 Kelvin, it possesses some internal energy. And because of that internal energy also lattice vibrates, and due to external forces also lattice vibrates. Okay, there are the two reasons for vibration of lattice. Former type of vibrations, that means the vibrations because of internal energy or the heat energy, give the information of the thermal properties of solids like specific heat at a constant pressure or at constant volume, and the thermal conductivity, such like thermal properties are given by the vibrations due to internal energy of the solids. In the later case, the later type of vibrations give the information of acoustical and optical properties of solids. Okay? So the vibration due to forced vibrations give the information of acoustical and optical properties of solids. Acoustical is sound related properties, the optical properties. So quantum of energy of an elastic wave is called phonon. As we are saying, the atoms vibrate with the help of elastic springs. Similarly, the wave associated with it is quantized. The energy of the wave associated with the atoms is quantized. That quantized energy of elastic wave is called the phonon. The phonons are analogous to photons. Almost all concepts which apply to photons are equally applicable to phonons. Okay? As photons are bosons, similarly phonons are bosons, and they can be uh, and are not conserved. Okay, photons are not conserved, and phonons are also not conserved. That means the phonons can be either created or destroyed during the collision. So this is a basic idea about lattice vibrations and quantized energy of elastic waves or vibrational energy. So that is phonon. So we are seeing here now we see the topic vibrations of one-dimensional monoatomic lattice or vibrations of one-dimensional so ideal lattice also we call it as identical atoms. Vibrations of one-dimensional identical atoms are linear atomic chain. So here we are observing the atoms are arranged in a straight line. So it is linear. They are arranged in a linear fashion. They are connected with the springs. So the mass of the atom is m, and the springs are massless. Okay, it is assumed that there is no mass to springs. Since in real practice also we observe only atoms and no attachment between the atoms. Okay, so that is why it is massless. It is assumed to be massless springs. So if it is the case, it is the equilibrium position. The above figure is corresponding to equilibrium position whenever there is no vibration at all. So about the equilibrium positions, if it is vibrated, so it is nth atom. Right. So this one is nth atom, and one atom towards left side of it is n minus 1 atom, and it is n plus 1 atom, and it is n plus 2 tooth atom. So about their equilibrium positions, if they move, the lattice move in particular direction, we are considering the case when they move in forward direction or towards positive x-axis. So we are concentrating at nth atom. So earlier, before the displacement, it is located here. Now it has moved to this place, and every atom is also moved since the motion displacement is coupled with other atoms. So it is un. Okay, the displacement of nth atom is taken as un, and similarly the displacement of n plus 1 atom is un plus 1, and similar here it is un plus 2, and the atom before to this is un minus 1. So these are the displacements, and whenever they are moving in this direction, that means it is just like a force is acting on these atoms, and after movement, and again they come back to their equilibrium position. Later they move in opposite direction. So it is acting like a elastic force. However, there is a force in spring mass system where the force is equal to F is equal to kx. K is the elastic constant and x is the displacement of the mass. So here also the mass is displaced by this displacement, and the force is acted. So now here we are taking, right. So the force spring constant or force constant as beta, and the displacement is u, then the force on the mass or an atom is given by F is equal to beta u. So similarly, if it is F is equal to beta u and the force on nth atom is beta un, actually, okay, beta u. These are the displacements of individual atoms. So so the n plus 1 atom is displaced to a position un plus 1. Okay, or the displacement is un plus 1, and we are interested to write the net force on particular atom. So we are writing the net force acting on the nth atom. Therefore we have to find out the net displacement of nth atom. So it has traveled or it has displaced un, but there is the contribution of n minus 1 atom displacement also in this. Therefore we are subtracting it, or we are writing the net force. So whenever it is there, so the springs, either springs or stretched string, so the tension always acts towards a point of contact. Therefore, at this nth atom, one force is acting in forward direction towards positive x-axis. That force is F into F is equal to beta into un plus 1. And another one is, so force which is acting towards negative x direction, that is, so F is equal to u into n minus 1. So if we want to write, so at first we are writing the net displacement. So whatever the displacement is here, it is because of the displacement in before atom also. Therefore we are writing, so a force in forward direction towards positive x-axis is first term, that is un plus 1 minus un gives the net displacement, the displacement due to nth atom only. Similarly, the backward force, that is opposite in direction, therefore it is minus, and beta times un minus un minus 1. We are writing in that way. So these are the displacements. We are writing the displacement corresponding to each atom, or the forces acting at an atom. By multiplying the negative sign inside, now we are getting here un plus 1, and it is minus of minus plus un minus 1, and it is minus 2 times un. So it is the equation after expanding this equation. Here, using Newton's second law, the equation of motion is written as, the force is written as m into d square un by dt square. It is the F is the force on acting on nth atom. Therefore, the displacement of nth atom is written here, m into d square un by dt square. So beta is equal to un plus 1 un minus 1 minus 2n. Okay, so it is the equation. So d square un by dt square represents the acceleration of nth atom. So if we write that, so that is one quadratic equation, second order differential equation. The solution of this, we are taking in exponential solution. So un is equal to u naught into e power exponential of omega t minus I times, it is a complex number I times omega t minus knj. It is the displacement of nth atom. Similarly, we can write the displacement of n plus 1 atom by replacing the number, the quantity or letter n with n plus 1. So wherever n is there, we are writing n plus 1 here. U naught exponential I omega t minus k n plus 1 into a. Similarly, the displacement of n minus 1th atom also is written here. And these are the three equations. available now, earlier one and this one. The equation 4.2 is the differential equation, and 3 and 4 are written here. By substituting these equations in equation 4.2 and simplifying it, we get minus m omega square, that is equal to beta times e power I k a minus 2 plus e power minus I k a. So it is written here, right? Now, so we are doing some manipulation. The above equation is expressed in this form. So if we expand this below equation, we get the above equation. So we are manipulating it. It can be written as e power I k a by 2 minus e power minus I k a by 2 whole square. So from the trigonometric relations, so e power ix plus e power minus ix by 2i is equal to sin x. Okay, this one. Similarly, we are writing the equation above equation, right? Here, so by sending this denominator term towards LHS, it is 2i times. Whenever we square it, 4i square, and I square value is minus 1. So in that way we are getting sin square x e power ix minus e power minus ix whole square is equal to minus 4 sin square x. We are writing the same thing here, minus m omega square is equal to minus 4 sin square ka by 2 into beta. So it is the equation. From here we are writing the omega square is equal to, after that omega is equal to plus or minus. So omega is the angular frequency, and frequency is never negative. Therefore, we consider only the positive value of the frequency. So therefore, omega is equal to plus under root 4 beta by m into sin ka by 2. So here we are taking the quantities C and rho as the longitudinal stiffness and the mass per unit length of the line respectively. So if it is stiffness, C is the stiffness, then from spring constant or force constant, C is equal to beta A. Similarly, if rho denotes the mass per unit length, so that is linear density, rho is equal to m by a, mass per unit length. Length is a and mass is m. So it may be noted here that the length a contains massless spring, and an atom contains of mass m. Okay, so we are writing these quantities. So wherever you have beta, we write C by A. So wherever you have M is equal to rho A. Okay, we are writing beta is equal to C by A and M is equal to rho A in above equation. So by writing in that way, we get omega is equal to 2 by A the root C by rho sin Ka by 2. So if we see the dimensions of square root of c by rho, it possesses the dimensions of velocity. Therefore, it is the velocity of sound. Okay, so it is the velocity of a sound wave. Okay, since it is linear, the displacement is linear only, so it is, we can treat it as a sound wave. Therefore, velocity of sound is equal to root c by rho. Here C is stiffness constant, stiffness only, and rho is linear density. Similarly, we see it next. So we treat it as velocity of sound waves. Okay, finally it is the equation we are getting. Omega is equal to 2 Vs by A sin Ka by 2, or in other terms, the root 4 beta by M sin Ka by 2. So here there are different possibilities, whether the frequency is higher or lower, or the wavelengths are higher or lower. So there are three cases. So at first we are considering low frequencies. That means wavelengths are higher. So k is the wave vector or propagation constant, that is equal to 2 pi by lambda. Whenever lambda is higher and k is smaller. If lambda is increasing, k is decreasing and gradually approaching 0. So at low frequencies, k approaches 0. So then sin theta, for small values of theta, sin theta is approximately equal to theta. Similarly, we are writing sin as k is smaller, is approaching 0, ka by 2 also approaches 0, and sin ka by 2 is equal to ka by 2. Okay, we write this substitution in sin ka by 2 is equal to ka by 2 in MO equation. We are writing the substitution 2 by A Vs Ka by 2. 2 is cancelled and A is cancelled. Now omega is equal to Vs into K. So it is the equation derived under the case low frequencies. So but we know the phase velocity and group velocities. So phase velocity is the rate of advancement of point of constant phase along the direction of wave propagation, and by mathematical equation it is written as phase velocity Vp is equal to omega by k. So we calculate the phase velocity and group velocity for this equation. What we are observing here, 10, equation number 10, 4.10. So if we write omega by k is equal to, obviously we are getting Vs. So, and the group velocity, it is the velocity of a group of waves or envelope, represents the velocity with which the waves transmit energy along the direction of propagation. So the group velocity is the velocity, average velocity of, okay, so average velocity of group of waves, and also it represents the transmission of energy with the speed it is being transmitted. So it is group velocity, and the mathematical equation is d omega by dk. From above equation, that is 4.10, if we write d omega is equal to Vs into dk, and d omega by dk also we get the same equation Vs, V suffix s. The group velocity and phase velocities are equal in this case. So we see the another one. So another case here, at higher frequencies or at lower wavelengths. Okay, so we calculate the phase and group velocities. At higher frequencies and the wavelength is lower, therefore k is not approaching 0. So k is non-zero. We are not taking any approximation. We are writing as it is and in above equation, and from that equation 4.9, omega by k is equal to, initially we have written omega is equal to, after that omega by k is equal to 2 Vs by Ka sin Ka by 2, actually 2 Vs by A sin Ka by 2. And similarly, the group velocity is d omega by dk, that is equal to Vs cos Ka by 2. Here it should not be, okay, right. We see next one. So thus Vp, phase velocity and group velocities are different and are functions of frequency, and this is referred to as phenomena of dispersion. So whenever the velocities are functions of frequency, in which medium the velocities are functions of frequency, that medium is called as dispersive medium, and that phenomena is called as phenomena of dispersion. Okay. Okay, since it is uh, however the phenomena of dispersion is existing here, the similar case exists in the case of light propagation also. So therefore, so we say that, so it is propagating the optical waves, optical waves in this frequency range. Okay, at high frequency, that means it is a particular case. Frequency is equal to under root 4 beta by m, which represents the maximum angular frequency of vibrations. Okay, we are writing the same relation in equation 4.9, and we get k is equal to pi by a, and by writing k is equal to 2 pi by lambda, we get lambda is equal to 2a. So the wavelength is 2 times the interatomic spacing. Okay, the lattice vector, and the phase velocities and the group velocities as group velocity is 0 and phase velocity is 2 vs by phi. From here, the group velocity is 0 means the transformation of energy, the transmission of energy is 0. That means the energy is not transported from one place to another place. And this type of phenomena occurs in the case of stationary waves. Okay, so at this frequency range, the stationary wave pattern occurs, or it does not propagate the energy from one atom to another atom, or one point of the solid to another point of the solid. Okay, so from this it is clear that the frequencies are allowed below under root 4 beta by m only. So since it is the solids are allowing the certain frequencies only through them, and they are blocking the frequencies above a particular value, that is square root of 4 beta by m. So since it is allowing low frequencies, it is called as low pass filter. So one-dimensional monoatomic lattice act as low pass filter. The next session we will come to know that a one-dimensional diatomic lattice act as so band pass filter. So just like that. So here it is the thing, right? Here I am stopping. So in this lecture we have studied about what are the lattice vibrations. That means the vibration of lattice, about their equilibrium position, and the vibrational energy is quantized. That quantized energy is called phonon, and phonons are like photons. They are bosons, and they obey Bose-Einstein statistics. And whatever the laws uh, applied to photons are equally applicable to phonons, and the phonon number is not conserved. That means during the collisions, the number of phonons may be either created or destroyed. That means the number may increase or decrease. Okay, and we have considered one-dimensional monoatomic lattice of mass m, and they are attached with elastic springs with massless springs. Okay, and of mass 0 we can say, and they vibrate about their equilibrium position, and so we have derived the equation for the differential equation. From that, so we have derived a dispersion relation. Okay, omega is dependent on frequency. Okay. Omega is equal to 2 by a Vs sin Ka by 2. Here I am stopping. Thank you very much for watching.